Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today's story is about a ghost. Late November, one dark afternoon, I was out delivering and I called at a house that was a large building and the side gate was down the side of the house. It was in a wall, arched gate like this, with two double gates that opened outwards like this, and above the gate was a little light, not very bright light. And I walked through the gate and I went to the front door. The front door was not an average sized door, it was bigger than a normal front door. In the middle of the door it had a big black door knocker. To the left of it, it had a doorbell which you pulled. I pulled the doorbell and the doorbell went ding-a-ling-a-ling inside. I'd put my bag down on the ground and I was ready for the customer to come to the door. No one came to the door. So I grabbed hold of the door knocker and went like that. And I waited. No answer came. I was going to crouch down to pick up my bag, and as I did, out of the corner of my left eye, I saw something move up the pathway on the corner of the house. So I turned and I looked, and there standing between the wall and the house was a figure. And the figure was dressed like a monk. It had the hood over its head and he was looking downwards like this. I looked, I froze, and the figure slowly drifted down the side of the house, the front of the house. I plucked up enough courage to get up because I was crouching, and I gingerly walked to the side of the house and peered round the corner of the house. And there, standing at the bottom of the path, at the end of the house, was this figure, dressed like a monk. He looked up. I saw no face, no feet, and he stuck his hand out and pointed at me. And as he did, he turned and he walked through the wall. I run down the side of the house, I grabbed my bag and I run up to the main road as quickly as I could. I was petrified. A couple of days later, I went back to the house because I still hadn't delivered what I'd got to actually take there. And I went about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I knocked on the door, and the lady who lived there came to the door, and I told her my experience about this monkly-like figure that I saw. And she said, yes, that's our resident ghost, she said. The story is that in the 1900s, the house that they lived in was a much, much bigger house. It housed many monks. It was a little monastery, and they got a walled garden which is actually still there today, and they grew their own vegetables and they had their own animals, chickens and goats and things. Well, one day one of the monks decided or needed to go down to the river because the river runs at the bottom of the garden, and he went down to the river to get the water for the animals. So he was carrying his bucket. He got to the river and he stood on the river bank. And he slipped. A little while later, some of the monks realised that he'd been gone rather a long time. So they went to find him. They went down to the river, and there on the river bank they saw him laying in the water, face down. He'd obviously slipped banged his head and he drowned. And from that day onwards, the monk had roamed the grounds of that house. Until the next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you all again very soon. Bye for now.